to see you.
I'm getting used to this quarantine life.
Yes.
Can I go for afternoon tea? It makes me sad.
Mate, we can go for afternoon tea soon, surely.
I think so.
Please, let it be
I
so.
don't actually go for afternoon tea that often. My friends will say different, but
Afternoon fizzy tea.
Actually, what? Do you know, honestly, I've drank more during quarantine than I do. I'm such a boring person in real life.
No, you're not. You're not boring. A lot of people have been saying that, actually, that they've been drinking alcohol, not necessarily drinking to get steaming, but having a drink like once a day when they wouldn't normally do.
I suppose what else you're going to do? You're not going anywhere. So, you could drive. Like, it's great.
How are you dealing with it? Do you think you're coping okay, or is it what's happening?
Well, obviously the first kind of week, 2 weeks were a bit weird because obviously, like the industry that we're in, all the work was getting cancelled, all the stuff was shut down, and so I was sort of like, what's going to happen to my life?
Yeah.
But I think once I got my head around the whole situation and what was happening, I was like, right, I never get this much time at home, ever.
Right, so, of course, yeah.
I just looked for things around the house, organised my garage, painted the outside of my house, cut my grass. It's great.
So kind of nice for you. It's different for you then because you're not normally at home.
I mean, I'm trying to look for the positives in a bad situation. Do you know that way? Because there's so much going on and there's so many lives been lost and all that sort of thing. And it's a horrible thing, and I know people that have lost family members and loved ones, and it's no nice. But the thing is, if we all get bogged down with it, that's not going to be nice. Do you know what I mean? And so I've tried to sort of work it out so that I can find a way to get by and know all the negativity.
Yeah. I think it's quite hard, isn't it, for live performers, because on one hand you're so aware that the immediate emergency is absolutely people's lives and people's health, and then you're kind of struggling with the fact that you're really affected. Like financially for us, it's a really, really scary time, and you kind of how do you feel about that? Did you have a lot of stuff lined up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm supposed to go on tour with Jonathan again this year.
Lovely Jonathan.
So I was supposed to be currently on tour for the next 8 weeks. And so we had to sort of bite the bullet and make the decision. And then as a result of that, there's just been a few other things, like I was auditioning for some West End shows. And I've had to...
Lovely, because I keep saying that to you.
I know, but I had to tell them, I was like, can I do your show? No, they didn't offer me the show, but I couldn't do, because I've had to reschedule the tour into next year, so then it's sort of pushed things back.
It's got a knock-on effect, hasn't it? No. That's what a lot of people don't realise. It's like, it's not just kind of the jobs that are affected this year, it's then theatres are rebooking, people are booked years in advance sometimes, and it's all not quite marrying up the way it normally would.
So from that point of view, it's a bit weird, but the good thing is obviously I've got stuff to look forward to next year, but obviously it's keeping yourself, like my parents are currently quarantining with me at the moment.
Really, Jai?
Oh,
how's that going?
I love them dearly.
There's a butt coming.
Oh boy. I'll just leave it there. But however, they're quite proactive, and they're like, oh, this job needs done, this job needs done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, I'm currently unemployed until August or September. So can we just stretch them out a bit?
Yeah, totally.
There's only so much Netflix I can watch. But, no, so it's good for that point of view. I mean, to be honest, my dad, he's brilliant in the garden. Like, see, honestly, the guy's 63 and he's got the strength of an ox, still going.
Oh. But, are they loving having you at home? They probably go, we love them dearly, but...
I mean, I think it's a mutual... No, I think it's all right, and it's nice, and there are times, I think, where I'm kind of like, I could quarantine on my own, definitely, but no, I definitely couldn't.
I think it's tough, eh?
I've got a lot of friends in a London way, and they're on their own, and I don't know how to do it. honestly.
Especially in London, because it's such a big, you know, packed city with very little breathing space, and it's like, oh, I just really feel for them, and I think the cost of living's really high, and if you're not earning, especially our live theatre pals, you're like, oh my gosh, how are they going to support themselves? Like,
that scares me for after this as well. A lot of my friends have moved out of London, and I just keep thinking, I mean, there's a few shows obviously that have basically said they're not coming back and things like that, so there's a lot of uncertainty for folk in the industry as a whole, because it's going to have to change, which is weird. And I find it quite scary, because I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I mean, we'll get through it. We will get through it. But the thing is, it's going to be.
I wanted to ask you about, because you weren't in our industry. Like you trained. You trained in Ayr College. Is that right?
Well, so I went from school to Ayr College, but it was actually sort of the engineering side of music.
Yeah, I saw that. I was quite interested to see that.
And it was really an interesting course. Actually, it was just, I knew early on it just wasn't what I wanted to do.
Do you think that because you're quite shy that maybe you went for that side of it rather than performance? I wondered when I read that, maybe in the back of your mind.
I did. Do you know, actually, you know what's really funny? So I had friends at school who were into music, and one of my other mates was going for this particular course. And I actually signed up for the wrong course to begin with, the performance course.
Right.
And they phoned me up, they were like, oh, you need to come in and you need to sing a song and you need to play something. So, like, play the keyboard was what I did at school. And they phoned up, and do you know that way, I got the phone call and I was like, I don't know if and so I phoned my friend up and I was like, audition for this course? And he was like, no. And I was like, I think, and so I looked up and I looked it up again, and this was in the days of dial-up Wi-Fi, so I mean, taking ages. But
and phoning people to ask questions.
Who did that?
I know.
So I figured out that I hadn't signed up for the right course. Oh no! So I had to phone the college up and fix it all. And do you know that way? Obviously, years later, I was like, I should have just went and done it.
Yeah.
But I freaked out, because I was like, oh no, that's no for me. No.
Yeah. Because you're quite shy, yeah. Because that's what we saw. Like, for anybody that doesn't know, for anybody that fell off the face of the earth in 2011, you're most known. Well, now you're known for you and being a singer, but at that time you were most known for appearing in Britain's Got Talent, which you won.
I know.
Like, you won it.
It's so mad. Like, see, honestly, sometimes a day, like, I'll meet. You know, it was really funny. So, like, we've got kids in the family,
right?
And there was only one of the kids who was old enough, or was born even rather,
right,
during Britain's Got Talent the first time round. And I remember I went on the show again to do the Champions last year, and my oldest niece started, instead of Uncle Jai, she was like, "You're Jai McDowall." I was like, "No, don't start that." But she just, in her head, because she'd went to school and obviously all her friends had saw me on the TV, they were like, "That's your Uncle Jai. Like, he's the guy that carries your bag home when you can't be bothered." Like, a wee pink bag.
You're Jai McDowall. But you are Jai McDowall.
No, but it's just weird. I'm like, what?
Like,
what's going on?
It changes, doesn't it? It's like you're like that. I'm just me, and what a huge I mean, God, I wanted to talk to you so much about it, because it blows my brain. I can remember you. I didn't know you when you auditioned for Britain's Got Talent, and I can remember watching you. I remember as a performer, and part of the reason, apart from the obvious, right, with your incredible voice, but part of the reason I remembered you so much was I remembered the guy who literally, I was like, I would feel myself go like that, because it wasn't hugely obvious. I think to other people it was like you looked a bit nervous, but you said it yourself that you really struggled with nerves. Like, was that, did you always feel like that? Like, if you performed to a small room, would you feel like that? Or was it do you think it was the scale of the whole thing being so foreign to you?
Do you know, I don't know. I think it was all new. So
it
was one of those things. I mean, first of all, I don't even like performing in front of my mum and dad. Like, I've had to do some stuff online during this quarantine, and I've been like shut in my room, been like
facing the wall.
Don't listen to me.
Look
Don't,
at me.
go outside. But and I'm terrible for that. Even like best friends or folk that have heard me sing all my life, I'm still like, no, you're all right. I'll just I'll wait till you're outside or something.
That's amazing that you still feel like that with such an amazing, beautiful voice.
But no, at the time it was a strange one because I'd always known, like from a young age, I was quite like my dad sings and has done.
Oh, does he?
Aye, he has done my life. And so I grew up with that sort of thing and music and singing, and so.
Did you know that? Did you think when you were wee, did you know that's what you wanted to do?
Aye. I think there was a period, obviously, like my teenage years, where singing wasn't cool.
Aye, especially for boys. It's really tough when we were younger. Did you kind of not just kind of pretend that you didn't like singing then when you were kind of a teenager?
Wee bit.
Really?
It wasn't until, where did we go? We were on holiday and we were doing karaoke, and I just thought, I want to go up and get a wee shot.
Yeah.
And my mum and dad were like, wait a minute, what? You can sing? And then it was, I started going out to like pubs and clubs. My dad used to play in a band, and I used to go out with them. And it was my music teacher found out through the grapevine that I'd been doing this, and she was like, you can sing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she sort of pushed me to go for like do my standard grade and all that sort of thing. And that was where I sort of fell into the musical theatre side of things, because that was the sort of singing I learned how to do at school. And then as time went on, I joined a couple of amateur dramatic groups in the area, in the village, in the area.
Who's that? What is it?
My duck.
Oh, who is it? Oh my gosh, who are you?
Daddy's like, what? What?
Me?
He's a boy.
Oh my God, what's his name?
Teddy.
Teddy? Oh my God, Jai. You're the cutest man in the world. That's the cutest dog.
He is a good.
You're trying to steal your scene like that.
I mean, he is. He just built it in my door, and he was like,
you could mime for you. Your mum and dad could watch, and you could stand, and you could be behind the curtain. Get a wee waistcoat and tails on him. Aye, so you were saying about how you kind of started performing. You did karaoke and you did musical theatre.
The first group amateur society I joined was called LEAH Amateur Opera Company.
Uh-huh.
I saw this in the local paper, thinking, oh, it's a choir. So I was like, I'll go and audition. So I thought, I'll go and I'll learn to sing more and I'll get better and whatever. And I went and I auditioned, and I got a wee phone call on the Sunday night, and the guy said, you're in, coming Tuesday. Great. Came Tuesday, and they hand me the lib for the musical. And I'm going, what's this? Like, oh, it's the show. And I'm thinking, show? What show? So they me up, this is a new member, this is Jai, he's going to sing the song. And it just so happened, so Anthem that I sang in Britain from my audition.
From Chess.
So that was the show. And that was why I picked that song to sing on.
Really?
Because they got me up to sing it. And they were like, this is Jai, he's a new member, he's going to sing his, the song Anthem from the show, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this must be what happens. And then, of course, at the end of the song, they were like, right, so we're delighted to have Jai play the part of Anatoly, da-da-da, and I'm thinking, what? So then, anyway, sat down next to this wee guy who's now a good friend of mine. And I says, mate, what is this? It's a musical. And I'm like, oh. Great. So that was my first musical. But actually, I've got many friends from it. And then, as I say, I joined another society in Kilmarnock. Yeah. Other shows where I learnt to dance a wee bit. No, a lot, just a wee bit.
I've seen your moves.
I still find that, like, I do better when, like, I don't know, I'm playing a character, or do you know that way? Like, I've got to act, because I just get nervous, and sometimes, like, especially when I'm doing a show of my own, I'll just ramble. Keep talking.
That's normal, Jai, though. That's normal.
Aye, I know.
But you know what I saw you doing, and it's just come to me now, so I'm just trying to remember if I'm right, but I think it might be from Chicago, the I think it is from Chicago, and then we both reach for the gun with the, it's like a ventriloquy. And genuinely, I mean, there's so many things that I love you doing, but that's one of my favourite things I've ever seen you doing, and it's just because you were so good at it, the comedy and all the moves, and this was in, obviously, LEAH musicals that you do with Jonathan, and I was honestly like, and I said that to you after, because I came to see that with my pal Russell, and we were like bawling our eyes out, because it was just, what a moment. I mean, I'm jumping ahead, because I want to chat about Britain's Got Talent first, but that moment at the Kings when you were in the Kings Glasgow, and honest to God, and I was like, you do know that they were there, they were like, that was for you, like, because when you came out, you got this big warm entrance applause, and you could feel it. I was in the stalls, and you could feel it all rippling through the stalls. Wasn't it an amazing moment? Did you enjoy it?
It was. See, well, the way obviously things happened, that was the week after I'd been on Britain's Got Talent for the Champions. And Jonathan had kind of said, he says it was like a nice homecoming gig for you. It was just
for sure.
Mad. And it was, and I always say this, Scottish audiences are just the best. They're just the best. And I'm not saying English audiences are great, but it's that warm feeling you get.
Yeah.
And it's probably because I'm Scottish. Like, I just like coming home for things. And but I love how we just get into an evening and just enjoy it, and just.
But I think they want you to. I think a Scottish house wants you to do well. Mm-hmm. You feel the anticipation before you come out, and there's pressure there, but you know that they just want to have a good time. Mostly, you know, it's not across everywhere, but mostly people just want to have a good time, and as long as you go out and do your very best and work hard, then you do feel that warmth from them, don't you?
And the thing is, it was a Saturday night, too. So,
I know. A Saturday night at the Kings is like gold dust, guy, for a one-nighter as well. But I've said that to you. It's like, mate, that is like that. They were there for you, and that's no. I know that Jonathan would, because we chatted about that backstage as well, and I know that he wouldn't feel any offence at all at that. He felt it too. He said he felt really emotional for you because he felt the warmth for you. You know. He's incredible, isn't he? He's what a vocalist he is.
I mean,
a lovely man
right now. He currently has bleach blonde hair because he's went for the whole bleach blonde.
I saw his thing on Twitter. Actually, I think there's kind of a perception of him coming from, is it G4? What's the group he was in?
G4.
Yeah, and he was quite, I mean, he's jovial, but he always looked quite formal and, you know, and very sensible, and he's very good at music, and he's so much fun. He's so full of giggles. And
yes, and I think that's one of the best things. I love working with different folk for that, because sometimes until you work with somebody, you only see what's portrayed. You only see, you know, and it's so good, because I said to Jonathan, we had worked together, oh God, 5-6 years ago on a show in London.
Oh really?
And he came to the sound check, done the sound check, left, came back, got changed, done the gig, and left. And I was like, "You're a roaster." So I never really got to, and I actually said to him in the first week of tour, I was like, "Jonathan, I thought you were going to be a bit of a pain in the backside, but actually, I really like you."
I love that you just said that.
Aye.
That guy's a total totty.
But he was, and he's lovely. And the thing is, he's so easy to work with, so nice.
Really,
the family are lovely, and the team. Like, the thing is as well, like, see, because he was a nice guy, he's got a good team round about him who are all nice.
Yeah, I loved the team. They looked after me when I went. Remember?
And it's just, that's a testament to just who he is as a person.
Yeah,
because it was just a nice thing to be a part of, and I was looking forward to doing this year. But I mean, next year, I have said to him before, we've had to reschedule this year, and we're then doing extra dates. So we're doing roughly, or we're looking at, if the theatres are still open, because some of them are closing, which makes me really sad. But we're looking at almost 70 dates. And I was like, "Jonathan, I think at the end of that, I'm going to hate you, but give me a week after the tour and I'll love you again."
That's a big tour.
Aye. It's spread over. I think we're going to do it like this time, and then at the end of the year, so we'll probably split it.
Isn't it amazing though? Like, that's your job now, you know, like.
It's nuts. Honestly, there are times, like, especially on tour last year, and I've done some stuff this year as well, like, just before the coronavirus, I was on tour with Susan. And
that's right, I need to ask you about that also.
I know we're jumping, it's my fault.
I know, but it's great. Listen, it's just a chat, it's geisha chat, so we can, it's me and you chatting, and that's what we chat like.
Well, my mates they always say you start off with one story, and then there's like a million tangents, but you always go back.
But listen, if it's good enough for Billy Connolly, it's good enough for us. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, he's like a legend. He's my idol. What were you saying there about?
That's what I was saying. So this is my job, right? But there are times where I still think, this is my job?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Like, how do I get to do this for a living? And
do you know do you remember you came to see us, because you're good pals with Mike Courtney, who I've done panto for, and you were...
the panto where I get soaked to death.
Yes. But you know what's so funny though? Like, because I know you and I've met you and we chat and all that, like I was like, oh, I'm just really glad you were in. Like, we're always glad that people that are friends are in. But it was funny to see people finding out that you were in. Honestly, try me down. And it was like, that must make you feel funny, like that they're all like that.
It does. One of the very first times this ever happened, I went somewhere and folk were like, try me down, but I could hear it. And do you know that? Like, what did I do?
I know.
Look at you there.
Yeah, it's me, guys.
Hello there. Hi.
You might just know you for school.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't. Do you know? Honestly, it doesn't get any easier. Like, I don't mean easier as in. I just mean it doesn't change.
No,
like,
it's not normal to you. Almost.
It's just like, hiya. It's like, as I said, my niece like calling me Jai McDowell. I'm like, no, I have one first name. Just call me Jai.
You're like, I am Jai, Uncle Jai. I want to play a wee clip, right? Just now. I want to play a clip of your first audition, and we can have a wee look at it, right?
I'm Jai McDowell, I'm 24, I'm from Ayrshire in Scotland, and today I'm going to be singing for the judges. I've never actually performed professionally before. I work as a support worker, but singing's my dream. I'm feeling very nervous about my audition today. The closer it gets, the more butterflies you get in your stomach, and the more nervous I become. I've never done this before.
Well, it's a big stage, and it's ready for you.
If I can control my voice, then everything should be okay.
It's your big moment. Very best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Come on, Jai. Yes.
No man, no madness, though their sad power may prevail, can possess, conquer my country's heart, they rise to fail. How can I leave her? Where would I start?
What does that feel like watching that though? I mean, I suppose you've watched it a good few times, but I mean, it's such an incredible moment.
Do you know that way? It's really weird. What?
Really?
It's nice. It is nice to see it, but at the same time, I think, oh man, that's like, oh, it's just a weird.
Just weird.
Just weird.
I feel like it wasn't you almost.
A wee bit.
Yeah.
A wee bit. It's a funny. I don't know the sensation. But I remember when I first came off the show and I refused to watch anything because I was just like,
really?
Because I don't know.
Maybe it's that thing of that, that kind of nervous, self-conscious going, the last thing I want to do is watch that because I felt it,
It's just, it's nice. It is nice to see it. I do love seeing it, and I think it's one of the things, because my whole BGT journey literally was, like, I don't remember an awful lot, if I'm honest. Only because I kind of, like, at the time I'd went from a normal day job, like I was working in care as a support worker, and I'd went from that to doing this, but it was, because it was all so quick, like, for instance, obviously, like, one day I'd be doing my normal job, and then the next day I'd be in London, or...
And Britain's Got Talent isn't just launching into the industry, you know, it's the biggest stage. I mean, the scale of that production for any performer would be hugely intimidating. So I can't imagine.
It was so, like, the vocal coach and I are still friends. She is...
Oh, that's lovely.
She's a wonderful human being. Actually, she's just lovely, and she's from New Zealand, so she's got this really nice, calm voice.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting her after the show, maybe, I don't know, about a month or two after, and I'll be honest, because I don't know, I think I'd tried a few different things over the years, and I was so used to sort of the rejection of things and being told no, that I was like, it's not going to work, it's not going to happen.
Really?
And I thought, I'm going to try and be really positive. I'm going to try and stay, like, on top form and keep my head above the water, all that kind of thing. And every time I went for another audition, I was like, right, just be positive, just do your bit, do as the best you can, whatever. As long as you do the best you can, you're fine. And it kept getting to the next stage and the next stage and the next stage, and I was like, this is mad. So
this is not stopping.
No. And then we got to the reveal for the semi-final, and they said, if you get through to the semi-final, they take you down to London and you go shopping and things like that. So, of course, they took me down to London. I got through to the semi-final. They took me down to London, took me shopping, and the nice girl, I think her name was Zoe, and she took me to All Saints. And I was like, I've never shopped in any of these shops before. So then we got the leather jacket that I wore in the finale.
Yeah.
And when I got to the semi-final, they said, if you get to the final, you're into the last 10 and you're on the tour, which means you get to keep the clothes. So, of course, I'm going, I want to get to the final. But do you know why I wanted to get to the final? I wanted the leather jacket.
See, you can take the boy out of here, sure, Jai.
I just wanted the jacket. But,
beautiful, though. That just shows you how humble you were about it all, do you know? I was going to show a wee clip, actually, of you winning Britain's Got Talent.
The winner of Britain's Got Talent 2011 is... So, Jai, the winner of Britain's Got Talent, how do you feel?
Absolutely amazing.
It's like a moment you've dreamed of,
fantastic. It's so much more. Absolutely, so much more.
You're going to perform for the Queen.
I know.
What was that moment like? That is such a tense... How long does that feel? That gap, those beats? Really?
Like, So... It was quite strange, the build-up to the final.
Right.
There was a lot of articles in the paper that were kind of saying that Ronan was tipped to be one of the favourites to win.
Right, is that the young boy that...
Ronan Park.
Right.
Lovely boy. He's actually, I mean, talk about feeling old. Like, I think he's 20 now. He was 12. I'm like, why are you so old?
He was so gracious, wasn't he, when you won? He was so polite and kind and so mature.
We still talk, actually.
Good.
Quite regularly. I genuinely, in my head, I was like, right, it's cool. Ronan's going to cool.
Just watching your face, I'm like, what was going through your brain? Like, what were you thinking?
I genuinely did. I thought, because obviously he was a brilliant singer back then,
Yeah.
And it is now, but back then, at 12-year-old, he had a brilliant voice, and he was 12. He was 12. They're going to vote for him. They're going to vote for him.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I was like, right, you've got to just keep your head,
like compose yourself, yeah.
But no, it was so genuinely, that is shock on my face.
You can see it though, because that moment, I think you said yourself, you know, it did change your life, and then you went and you travelled around the world. You went on the tour. You got to sing with Josh Groban because you sang his amazing song. And all these things, right? You got a record deal, which is really important that we chat about. So you were signed to Psycho, under the umbrella, under the huge Sony umbrella. And so you've got everything going. You've got a wee bit of prize money. Everything's great. And then the year after you do your one album deal, you don't get renewed. And I'm just wondering, because I want to chat to you about the Champions after that, right? But I just wonder what that was like when that happened. Was it something you were expecting that might happen, or was it complete shock to you?
No, I think so. Obviously, I didn't know the industry well enough to understand at the time.
Yeah.
Like how it worked and what went on and things. So I remember I went to China actually to be on China's Got Talent. I was
wow.
a performer on China's Got Talent, and I remember speaking to my management at the time, and I was like, "Are we releasing my album out there? That would be great." Like,
yeah,
but we didn't, and I was like, "Oh,
why not?
Why not? That's a bit strange." So then in my head, I was sort of like, you know, by this point, I think it'd been 6 or 7 months. And sort of, I knew by the time it happened that it was going to happen.
Right.
And now, like, at the time, obviously, I was devastated at the time. It's like losing a job. Do you know that way? It's like, somebody, you know, going at your work one day and being told you're not going to have a job the next. And it was quite hard because up until that point,
quite publicly though, Jai, losing a job quite publicly, dealing with that as well.
Yeah, there is, and it's hard because the thing is, people then at the time, like obviously I had a lot of people around me, like family, friends who didn't understand the industry and didn't know what was going on, and they were asking me questions and I couldn't answer these questions because I didn't have the answer. And so I got quite, not like angry, but just frustrated, I think, because I was like, I don't know.
It's like making it worse almost, isn't it?
And the thing is, with the likes of that sort of thing, like it just sort of happened, and that was it. And then I was like, oh, okay, what next?
Yeah.
And so I kind of moved on, and I done a few singles with a couple of guys from kind of Glasgow-ish area, East Kilbride area, and we toured with a band, and we started working on new stuff, and sort of it kind of took my mind off it, which was good. And looking back now, like at the time, obviously, you know, I was raging. I was like, what's my life? What's going on?
Yeah.
Because obviously, like with Britain's Got Talent, you give up your life, you give up a lot, like, you know, and it's from one day to the next, and so there were days, and I'm going to be really honest about it. There was days where I was like, have I made the right decision? Is this right?
Yeah.
Should I have done this? Like, or do I go back to normal life now? Is that what happens? And it did. It took an awful lot of time and a lot of chin wagging with friends and stuff like that, which I was very grateful to have. Actually, to be fair, I've had a lot of good support from friends
that's great.
and after it and things, and I'm really lucky. And so so once I kind of wrapped my head around it, I was just, again, kind of like the similar situation to now. I always try and find the good in something, because there's too much opportunity for you to go down a really deep dark hole. Yeah,
that's a really good way of looking at things, though. It's really healthy and it's a it's a good message for people that are watching as well, to always try and see that there's a positive somewhere to be found. I'm just wondering how you feel about, obviously it was reported, but he, by his own admission, eventually said, Simon Cowell said that he really didn't give you the support that, because this show had been created and he was such ahead of this show, and a mentor really, and kind of he said it himself that he feels that as such an incredible winner of this competition, he feels like he didn't really give you the support that you should have got. What do you feel about that? Do you think that's true, or?
I think a little bit. I mean, I think at the time, and I've always, as I say, I'm an overthinker, so I'll tend to.
Me too.
I know, and I always try and see when something is going on, or something happens to me, or somebody. I always try and see it from not just my point of view, but from other people's, because there's always multiple sides to a story.
Yeah.
And when I was on the show, Simon was trying to launch X Factor in America.
Right. Okay.
And it didn't actually. It ended up not doing well at all, actually. And since that's what I was saying. Like at the time, I didn't understand. What was going on. I didn't really understand the industry, and as I say, I went from a job to the show to the tour to then being given all these incredible gigs all over the country, but I was so busy that I didn't have a chance to just stop and take in what was happening and learn things and try and understand what was happening to me and around me. And so, hindsight wise, I've looked back and I've thought, the guy was busy. The guy was trying to launch a whole brand new show in a huge place like America, and it didn't do well. So he's lost a lot of money. He's obviously got real life problems going on, because nobody's. Do you know what I mean? Like nobody's immune to that. Nobody's immune to all the things that go on. So it was something that, like, I was like, obviously at the time, as I say, he was away in America, so he didn't do everything that he probably would have done or could have done in the UK because he wasn't here.
You're so kind. You're so kind.
No, but it's
though, because it's so endearing. Honestly, you're such a kind man. That's why you deserve so much, because that's so kind what you've said though, and it's really understanding at a time that would have been really hard for you to think of this other person and what they would have been going through and stuff. That's so lovely.
But that's it's just who I am. It's just
lovely.
And the thing is obviously, and I'm again, all these thoughts came in and out with thoughts of like raging. I'm raging. What are you doing? And then and
you're like, I had these space in a dartboard at the end of my bed, but I'm fine, mate.
No, oh, it's away. Never mind. A friend of mine gave me a Secret Santa.
Show me it. I was like, Jai,
oh no, I left it on the wall. No, I'm kidding.
Simon, he's kidding on. I was going to play a wee clip actually, because you went back, just in case we run out of time. I wanted to show this wee clip of you coming on to the Champions, the Britain's Got Talent, the Champions, because I feel as if you had come almost a full circle in terms of that competition. Yeah. The difference in your performance, even your stance, your physicality, your energy. You just looked more relaxed. You're even vocally as well. I mean, your voice has always been incredible, but everything grows, don't they? And I just was like, oh, do you know what? He's made it. He's done full circle. And it's just beautiful to watch actually, and he saw that. Simon saw that as well, because that's when he apologised, and you can see how much. I'm going to show you this first, and you can tell me about it, because you can see how much it meant to you.
Welcome back to Britain's Got Talent, the Champions.
Final act tonight is a brilliant Scottish singer who won Britain's Got Talent back in 2011.
Since then, he's performed all over the place, including the Royal Variety Performance and the Queen's Diamond Jubilee.
Predominantly performing to Royals then.
He loves the Royals.
He loves the Royals. It's great to have him back with us tonight. It's LEAH MacDowall!
Wish I could have said goodbye. I would have said what I wanted to. And I don't want to give somebody else the better part of me. 'Cause I would rather wait for you. I'll never love again.
2011. The fact that I never gave you any support during or after the show, and you have the guts to come back and proved a point to me, which is that you've grown in stature, you've grown in confidence. The song was immaculate, it was a great performance, and I owe you an apology for not giving you the support I should have given you at the time. So here is the standing ovation I should have given you.
So, you have no idea how much that means. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Jai, just take that in for a minute. All four judges on their feet. Wembley on its feet. A standing ovation for you. How does it feel?
I've come home and it's absolutely fantastic.
How do you feel watching that? Because it makes me great every time I watch it. I feel dead proud of you. I feel as if everything about you is captured in that moment. How kind you are, how gracious. Although I've got to say, for people watching it, watch it back and see when you go to speak to Simon, you do give him a bit of a Scottish look. Like, you look at him, you do look at him, don't you, as if, and what you're going to say. I'm like, go on, Jai.
You're my Scottish look.
You
See,
do.
in fairness, and I'll be really truthful, I didn't know what to expect. And so even right until the moment he opened his mouth, what is this guy going to say to me? Is he going to roast me? Is he going to think that I'm ungrateful, or think, because
and were you worried? Did his opinion still matter at that point? Were you kind of worried, or did you feel after you'd done the song you'd come, or did you need that wee extra bit from him just to complete the whole circle?
A wee bit. Do you know what it was? I think, as I've said, so there was a lot said after the show the first time round, and a lot of it was just
misquoted,
which was horrible for me, because I just was like, never said, what's going on? And
he'll know though, he's quite wise to that, isn't he?
Well, we have, so we've spoke now, obviously, but up until that point I just didn't know how he was going to react and what was going to happen. But when I finished, because you were saying about me being more relaxed and things, and I did right before I went on, I was nervous. I was still nervous.
You looked so good. You looked so calm and collected. What changed? What happened?
I don't know. I just thought I've just got to do this. I've got to.
For you.
Because I've worked hard. I've worked really hard.
You have.
The past 9 years, and I've had a lot of knocks, and I've had a lot of times where I've questioned my choices and whether it was right or wrong. And in that moment, going back and standing, I had a lovely, beautiful bunch of human beings in my wee pod thing, who are friends.
I saw that, and I could tell the warmth from them.
And it was quite weird, because obviously I'm in Wembley, right, and folk are there with their torches out and they're singing the song back, and they're
amazing.
And of course I'm going, I'm a wee boy footer Bolton, I'm in Wembley, and this is mad. And then my pals are in the booth, and I just happened to look over, and it was a combination of everything, that setting and friends being there. But halfway through the song, I looked over and I thought, I wouldn't know anybody in that booth if it wasn't for Britain's Got Talent.
Oh, really?
And I just all the emotion happened, and
that's lovely.
Nice comments, and Simon saying what he said, and I just was like, do you know what? I need to make it clear that I'm grateful for my life and what he and the show have given me, because it was nice. And I managed to speak to him afterwards and say, look, I never said any of that. I've always been grateful for everything, and I really appreciate it. And he was lovely, and he said, I understand, and don't worry, it's just the way it is and things. And it was nice. It was just nice to, as you say, come full circle. Yeah. And just be able to.
It was a beautiful moment.
Just move on.
It's a beautiful moment. Do you know, we were saying there was wee bits of disappointment in the Britain's Got Talent journey. So there was a disappointment of your record label getting losing your record label and things. But do you want me to tell you what I was slightly disappointed about, Jai, right? And I wasn't sure whether to say this to you because it might be disrespectful, but I'm just putting it out there. Were you not gutted that when you did the Royal Variety performance, it's meant to be like the Queen there, and you go down backstage and then the Princess Royal rocks it? How do you feel about that?
Do you know what, right? So to begin with, yes, I was raging, right? Because I was like, my one chance to meet the Queen.
I know.
However.
Or even Big Charlesy boy or something.
Oh no, well, right, so it got to Princess Anne, we're in the lineup and she's shaking everybody's hand. She comes to me and
what did she say?
Well, she says, oh, hello, hi, I loved your performance, da. And she says, where are you from? I said, Scotland. She went, yes, I get that. Where from? And I was like, Turbo. She's like, oh, I know it well. And I was like, what? What? Apparently she keeps horses nearby.
I was going to say, was it to do with the horses?
So she's chatting away, and then she turns to Barry Manilow and she starts talking to Barry Manilow. And
of course.
My dad afterwards said, the best bit for me of the whole thing was when Princess Anne decided that you were better to talk to than Barry Manilow and turned back around and started talking to you again. And I was like, okay. And I was like,
but she was a lovely chat. Lovely. And do you know what? I mean, I'm jesting. I mean, of course, to meet any member of the royal family, but I just was laughing at that. I thought, I was meant to meet the Queen.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I totally was. And then I done in George Square in Glasgow, I done the Queen's Jubilee.
Right.
The Jubilee. Missed the Queen again.
She's avoiding you.
She is avoiding me.
She's avoiding you.
I've met Prince Philip. And
right. How cool. What I was going to ask you, last question, I was going to ask you in terms of royalty, TV royalty, Ant and Dec, what are they like? Are they a joy? Are they very... I wondered how present they are actually with the contestants, or are they kind of they go off quite a lot, or what are they like to be around?
No, honestly, they were absolutely lovely. And during the first one, I remember I was on a phone interview, and I used to have this really weird wee phone, and it used to be in a leather case. And I'm on the phone doing this interview, and I had the case in my hand, and I went to wave at Ant and threw the case at him and hit him in the face, and he just laughed. I was like, he knew I was on an interview, so I was like,
oh no.
He handed me the thing and he just went, it's all right.
Oh, bless.
During the Champions, I was sitting just during the rehearsal period, and they came in to do their bit, and they saw me, and actually they were lovely. They were like, oh my God, it's great to see you, da. And I was like,
really?
Oh, guys, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I've always liked them. They seem like
good. So they're what we would expect. That's bra. So moving on, what is next for you? Obviously, you've got your new single out at the moment.
Oh, right, yeah.
Tell us about that.
I know I do.
Plug.
I know. So I released a new single on Monday, May the 4th, and it's a lovely song. I actually got it a few years ago, and it's a sad story, actually, a wee bit of a sad story. So I worked with a man called Steve Dorff, and he's produced a lot of people over the years and done songs for like Celine Dion and Barbara Streisand, Michael Bolton, and loads of people that I can't.
Jai McDowall.
Me. But his song, the song that I released was written by his son. And he wrote the song to his mum who'd passed away when he was younger. But it turned out that when by the time I got out to America to record the song, his son actually passed away in an accident.
Oh my gosh.
It was horrible, and it actually we recorded the song in a studio in Los Angeles, and we done a few takes of it, and it was kind of weird because he was like, all right, okay, that'll do us, but I could tell he just wasn't satisfied. I was like, oh no, he needs more. So he went out to answer like a phone call from someone, and I said to the other guy on the desk, I was like, look, is this is going to make me sound like pure weird, but I was like, turn down the lights and just let me sing it one more time.
Yeah, but that isn't weird. That's like, you know, your senses are really sensitive, you know, so I get that.
And I just sang it, and I mean, I was very close to crying at the end of it. So
really?
The guy messaged me when he sent the tracks through, and he said, by the way, just so you know, 95% of this song was your very last take. And I was like, oh.
That's incredible.
So thankfully, so that's why I'm going to cry.
It is beautiful though. Is it called We Ain't Talked in a While?
Ain't Talked in a While, just
We Ain't Talked in a While. Oh, Ain't Talked in a While, sorry.
That's
and
right.
it's where can people get it?
You can get it everywhere. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Deezer. I've never heard of Deezer before, but you can get it there.
Because it's new now, isn't it? It used to be you'd go and buy a CD or maybe download from somewhere, but now it's like you can get it. So basically, it's on all your music places you can go.
All the links are on my social media, so you go.
Perfect, and we'll put that at the end for everyone to see. You're a pure dream. I'm going to do a really wee quick fun thing if you're up for it, a wee quick fire. So the first one is this or that, right? So you just got to pick one.
Oh no, right. Okay.
Ready? Pop music or rock music?
Pop.
Pancakes or waffles?
Oh, waffles.
Oh, hot chocolate or coffee?
Hot chocolate.
Day or night?
Oh, night.
Text or phone?
Text all the time.
Text. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Theatre or cinema?
Oh no, theatre.
Yes, good man. Love or money?
Love. Always love.
Book or movie?
Oh no.
I know.
Oh.
I know.
Movie. I love books. Oh, movie.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy, always.
Hamburgers or hot dogs?
Neither, because I'm vegetarian.
If you were having a veggie sausage or a veggie burger?
Burger.
Yeah, although I like veggie sausages. Boat or plane?
Plane.
East or west?
West.
I know, right? I love doing quick fire because I have to restrain myself. I was doing one with another friend recently and I was commenting on everyone. I was like, yeah, that's not the point of it. Right, I've got a couple of would you rathers, right? Let me have a wee look at what I've got here. Would you rather it be hot all the time or cold all the time?
Hot.
Would you rather control space or time?
Time.
Would you rather not be able to stop dancing or singing?
Wait, stop dancing?
Yeah, would you rather have to sing all the time or dance all the time?
Or sing all the time.
Would you rather be poor with lots of good friends or rich with no friends?
Oh, poor. Definitely poor.
Would you rather wear clown shoes every day or a clown wig every day?
Shoes?
Would you rather always have to skip everywhere or run everywhere?
Oh, skipper. Who needs running?
Would you rather surf in shark-infested waters or free fall with a parachute into the Grand Canyon?
Parachute?
Yes! Di McDowall, you are a total legend. I'm so proud to be your pal. I'm dead proud of you. I'm wishing you loads of success. Thank you so much for joining me. Loads of love. Bye!